Woodland visor covers. Those are online. They might be sold out already. Highlander pelter wraps. Black smoke grenades. BBD bags. These are online also. I don't know if they're sold out. Black pelters. 2-round shotgun cards. Pull off or tear off panels. So if you want to make a med pouch removable that's not, or lock picking tools or breaching stuff, whatever. Triple pistol mags. Let's Go brand and zippered knives. Doc cocks. These have a red cross on them. Mandrake tool bags are done. Those are online also if you want one. If you want any of that stuff, especially the visors, the tool bags, the BBD bags, you should leave here right now and go try to get it if it's available. Those will be gone. They will not make it to the email. NSW admins, or NSW Modular NSW chest rigs in Arid are going right now. Those are being made. Big black cocks. We know how you like that. Highlander ID carriers. If you haven't seen these, they have a window. They have a flat sleeve pocket. They have a zippered pocket inside also. This is the full length. I guess I should probably show you. Clear window, flat pocket, zippered pocket. Business card on the back. You can put about 25, 30 business cards in there. And then we gave you multiple pieces of elastic here, so you can put different height, chem lights, pens, pencils, whatever you want in this. Financial advisor. How much money are we talking about? I know some guys, but they won't touch you if you're not dealing with over $1 million. If that's the area we're talking about, hit me up and I'll put you with someone. If not, I don't know anybody. But you can listen to the Homesteading podcast with John Pugliano. Oh, also I have black day packs. We put them online today though, so I don't know if there's still any left. If you think you want those. Here's something new I'm working on. It's a very small fanny pack. Velcro for patches on the back. You can flip it around. Flat pocket. It's got some organization inside it. I don't think you, well, yeah, I guess you can kind of see it. Lots of these hankies. A lot of these hanks have been shipping. Lots of people have them. I'm starting to see photos of them. JT, what's up, buddy? The fanny pack is nice, James. We've been doing like urban exploration stuff, and I want something that I can just kind of put crossbody, like on my back when I'm climbing and stuff, that I can just cinch down super tight and not know it's there, but still have stuff with me. Chuck Peoples, what's up? Caswell, what's up? Frazier, what's going on? Byron Roberts, how are you? Ryan Ray, what's up? Kirby, what's going on, buddy? There's a lot more here, but it won't let me go back. Scott, what's up? Caswell. So apparently there's some storms going on. We'd been hearing it. I didn't think it was even here yet. It passed us. I guess TAC Response was doing a live feed. Their power went out. I've got some friends in Clarksville. They said their power's out. Our lights didn't even blink over here. TAC Response is on a different set of transmission, a different area than we are. So it's very rare that our power goes out. And when we do, we have a lot of industrial stuff on our lines. So they get us up pretty fast the few times we've ever been down. Windy in Georgia. It was windy today. It's not windy now. Been windy here. Dixon, James, right on. The wind, it was very windy today. He wants to carry 12 power bars. Guys, do they even make power bars anymore? Do they make power bars? So I watch all these YouTube videos all day long. I listen to all these YouTube videos. And I watched the dude today and I realized what he was doing was just reading comments from the video the day before. So he makes a video reading comments, and then kind of gives a little bit of his information. But this one today was about food shortages in different areas, and a lot of people commenting said that they worked for Walmart or Winn-Dixie or Aldi Foods, and they're talking about all the stuff they're getting, and they have tons of stuff in. Walmart has tons of shit, but it's all stuff they already have inventory of that people aren't buying. The stuff that sells that people want, they don't have, but they've got fucking tenfold of the inventory because it's back from a year before when it wasn't unloaded off the ship. So they're getting all this inventory and have nowhere to put it. So it was just interesting that the way he was doing this, but I thought, shit, we could do a fucking podcast and YouTube video like that where we just go give you 3 topics and you guys leave comments and then we just fucking sit and discuss them or have people on and discuss them. So we might do that 1 or 2 days a week and kind of bring that back and then put it up as podcast also. We're starting to take the nightly YouTube videos, the lives like this one here, and cutting out the dead air out of it or just the nonsense, you know. So if there's any good information, we'll kind of put it into a 10, 15-minute video. Kind of like you see Tim Pool do a day or two after he's on. You know, they kind of break it down into smaller stuff like they do with Rogan. You can buy power bars on Amazon. I don't know how. So that was the other thing I was going to talk about, Lone Star. They were saying, I've seen probably a dozen different videos that people are getting stuff and the expiration dates are double stamped. So you'll see that the expiration date is almost expired and they extend it out a year. And then there's a lot of people saying they're buying brand new stuff and the expiration date on the new stuff expires sooner than the stuff they already have in their pantries. So they're all kinds of silliness going on. Do you go through several product iterations before something goes to market? Fupa XL has so many details that I learn over time. Really impressive. So the Fupa XL was literally just the Fupa made bigger. We just made it bigger. That's all it is. It's the exact same thing. It's just bigger. And then we added the dangler, which is exactly just a Fupa with the extra panel. It started off as a much bigger, squarer rig for a chest pack when we were doing kayaking and stuff, and we called it the Birdwatcher rig. Jeff wanted it, and I built it to the dimensions we discussed and put on paper, but it wasn't aesthetically pleasing. It was very square, and the market wouldn't sell in the market. So I changed it to be not as tall so that we would be able to sell them, and guys fucking love them. Now what I'm doing tonight, what I was building was a smaller, skinnier fanny pack. And then I'm probably still going to do another one that you could use as a standalone pocket or put a shoulder strap or fanny pack strap on it that'll be much smaller than this even. So in this, you could put a 19 in here probably, or one of those little pocket pistols, you know, like a 43 or something. But I'm going to build one even probably 50% smaller than this. History of the NSW. We built them for SEALs, man. Mike Sorelli. There was a bunch of Mike Statello, Mike Sorelli. Sorelli works for Echelon Front now. Sorelli actually works for Jocko nowadays. Here's the original. This became the Fupa. And it's cross shoulder straps, pocket flat there. And it had drawbridge limiting straps, which were never used. But originally I just made, so Jeff could carry a gun when we were out kayaking. He just wanted something on his chest. And then we did the fanny packs, the Fupas, and he just went with that. Like that thing, it sits right there. He used it once. The next day, we knocked them down, made them more fanny pack-ish, and he's run those ever since. And that's why the fanny pack can be worn as a fanny pack or a chest rig. It comes with both straps. Hellcat, I don't even know what that is. Use my XL for chest rig when scouting elk. Yeah, it'd be great. It's great in tree stands too. Shout out to Mookie, who's What, I don't know what the shout out to Mookie is. You just saying hello to Mookie? Mookie had nothing to do with the NSW rig, if that's what you're talking about. Jocko has a protein bar. I've got some of Jocko's pre-workout. It came in the door yesterday. I also have some Red Bull that has eaten its way out of the can. There's no carbonation here, and when you squeeze this can, you can hear it piss. Order tear-off panel, right on, Chuck. Would I bring Amanda on the podcast? Yeah, we will some. You go through several products. There we go. $85. Yeah, it was 85 here today too, guys. It was like 80, 85. It was fucking hot and just kind of sticky. Felt dirty all day. Kind of windy a little bit and had snow on the ground. We were out in a building just checking some shit out and doing some video over the weekend, and it was 65-ish degrees, and it was hailing all day, hailing. The whole time we were out in these buildings and stuff, it was fucking hailing, these old abandoned buildings. Josh, it's windy there. It was windy here, but it's not now. Like, it's barely even raining. Power out, someone stuck in the crane. Has that happened before, Mark? You ever been up there stuck? Under tornado watch in Nashville. Yeah, we were too. We were too. Pierre hit me up and he's like, hey, how's the weather? And I'm like, I don't even know, man. I'm sitting here listening to audiobooks and sewing. And he said, yeah, it's supposed to be heading our way. It just passed you. And I went outside. I go, well, I'm outside right now, and it's barely raining, so I think we're probably okay. Had to get a bright color XL so I don't set that shit down in the woods. Yeah, I can see that, man. Ronnie Warren. So what do you do in Nashville, man? Have we ever met? I don't know if we know each other or not. I go to Nashville all the time. We're in Nashville. Pretty good storm came through here tonight. Gone now. Same here, John. Same here. Gone. Web Dad, what's up? Leonard Fisher, how are you? It's rare, but it happens. First break I've had all day. So, is there a way down? Like, is there a ladder or something? If you're stuck right now, if it was prolonged, is there a way to get out? I know in the sky cranes and stuff, they have like a little catwalk you can get out of. I was the guy who asked you about Forerunner at the Prepper Fest, and we stood right on. I ran into a dude at Home Depot Saturday, had a Forerunner with Roam boxes on top, and I'm like, what's in your boxes? He's like, about $650 right now, meaning that's what they cost, you know? So it turns out he's got a YouTube channel. He was checking out my Forerunner, our Forerunner, Amanda's Forerunner. We stood and talked for 10, 15 minutes. He's got a pretty good YouTube channel. I would tell you what it is, but I can't remember. Nice dude though. He's just did a seat delete in his Forerunner, and he's setting up overland, and like he's leaving. I guess he's getting rid of his house and he's going to go overland. He's a really good photographer, and he's really good on camera. And if I remember what his name is, I'll throw him out there to you guys. You got any good leads on tractor implements? Specifically looking for small grain mill. Tyler, John Witherspoon might know. I don't know. I do not know. I don't. I have tractor, but I use a skid steer, so I use commercial equipment all the time. I do have a 35 horsepower John Deere, and it's not really enough to do any of the things that I do every day. Like the Roam 83. I do too, Ryan. I've got an 83. Did you see they just came out with the quick releases for them? I am unclear if you have to buy new 83-liter boxes or if you can just put those quick releases on an existing box. I don't know the answer to that. YouTube keeps snapping me back to chat. Irritating. Weird. A lot of times, Nicole, this iPad has just been dying midstream. It'll just go black, right? Like it's turned off, and it'll reboot itself. And when I don't do the end video thing, I have gone later on to my phone, like 2 hours later, and I see that I am live still, and it just replays like the last 10 seconds over and over and over and over, and it just fucking keeps replaying it. Fucking weird. Michael Loveday, these visors are really nice. These visor covers. They're the best. Believe it. Everyone tells me. Have you built a rig dedicated as a dedicated bug out vehicle? Yeah, we drive it every day, man. The 4Runner. 4Runner's got tons of shit in there. I actually just ordered some ladders that are going in the 4Runner, collapsible ladders. The 4Runner's pretty well set up. Like we could leave. The 4Runner is just about set up at this point to where we could literally walk out the door in 5 seconds, get in, and have everything we need in the 4Runner. But I'm always, like when we get ready to go on somewhere for the weekend, I still put 15 minutes worth of more bullshit in the truck. But if I walked out of there, I've got extra batteries and battery chargers and stuff that just lives in the truck that never comes out of there now. You're right. I've seen a owner CEO chat every day with anybody willing to tap into and learn from the extensive applied knowledge found here. Thanks, John. Saint, thanks for being here, buddy. Any Moss Gray tool bag? No, we don't have any gray, buddy. We don't have gray. I've ordered it the last 4 or 5 orders. I don't have any shit that's gray right now. We don't even have scraps. Like we're cutting up scraps to build stuff out of, and we're to the point where we can't even do that in gray. Jose, what's up, man? Grain drill I have is a bit too big for my tractor. Would like to find a smaller one, planting grass and alfalfa. Tyler, Titan attachments. You might try there. Land Pride, I think that's Kubota's. Tractor Supply sells a few different things. I need to have somebody come in with a seed drill and just plant my property. You know when you're driving along through farms and stuff in the winter and everything's dead, and then you see these big, huge farms with beautiful green, lush grass in the winter? It's because they double seeded. They've planted winter variety and they've planted summer variety. And you can go through and sprinkle down seed and shit, but you know, your fucking chickens and your guineas eat them up. You pay a lot of money to have somebody come in and seed that crop in with a seed drill, but it's also there. So while it seems like a lot of money, I feel like you get a much better product when it's done with a seed drill. And I do need to have somebody come in and just fucking drill the property and be done with it. Agrifab, Kerber. Have you built a rig dedicated? Okay, we did that. Score advisor cover. Looking for ivermectin. No one has any. So Caswell, do you guys, any of you guys have dogs? You deal with heartworm? Right? The doctor wants to do this HeartGuard shit, and then they want to heartworm test your dog for $800, and then they tell you need to treat your dog for heartworms, and it's, you know, $2,500 a dog, and then you have to lock your dog up for 6 months, and it can't have any activity, right? Do you know that you can give ivermectin orally to a dog and it'll fucking take care of the fucking heartworms? Do you know there's ways to treat heartworms other than the cyanide that the veterinarian wants to charge you thousands of dollars for? And then you got to fucking literally lock your dog down for 6 months. The dog can't get excited for 6 months over heartworm. Do you know that you can treat that with liquid ivermectin, like injectable ivermectin. You can just give it to them orally. Brian, what's up? Kind of new here. What's the difference between 175 Cobra belt and the EDC belt? Also, can we order those Hanks or did they sell out? So RH, we are not taking orders for the Hanks. My wife is making those. You send me an email about the Hank. Don't include anything else in the email. Just send me an email standalone about the Hank, and I will forward it to her. And if she wants to do it or if she will do it, most of them are going to be multicam black based. They look like this at this point. This is your option. You can choose thread color. She'll build it, and then you'll pay for it. I think that's how she's doing it. As far as the belt, 1.5 and 175, that is not the size of the buckle. The buckles are actually about a 1/4 inch bigger. That's the size of the webbing that goes through your belt loops. 175 is more of a life support rated belt. The 1.5 belts are way better to hold your pants up and carry a gun with. John, I'm in a livestock guardian group or a I don't know which group I saw it in. It wasn't much. It was anything over 60 pounds. It was like 3 drops, but I'm sure there's different I'm sure there's different doses per bottle, doses per mil. So I will find that information if I can, John, and send it to you. If you had an hour with 20-year-old John, what would you tell him? Specifically, I'd tell him there's a lot of shit I would tell him. Really what it comes down to is don't do shit. Do everything you do as though it's important. And if it's not worth doing as though it's important, it's not important enough to do. Move with urgency and purpose and do everything you do 3 times faster. When you do that, because we waste a lot of time, more as we get older right now, and it's not just an age thing, it's the social media thing. So you get stuck. Everyone gets stuck. I can get up at 4 in the morning on Saturday, get a ton of shit done, and then sit down to go to the bathroom, pull that phone out. Before you know it, my legs are asleep and I've sat there for 30 minutes and I can't tell you what I fucking saw. I don't know any of the people that I saw doing it, and I've wasted 30 minutes. So maneuver every day as though each day is 3 days. Build it into 8-hour days. You have 3 8-hour days in a day. But most of you have 4 6-hour days because you're going to sleep one of those, right? So you have 3 6-hour days. At the end of every hour, evaluate, did I do everything I could with that hour? What do I have to show for it, and what did I accomplish? And then evaluate that hour and assess how you're going to spend the next hour. Take the things you don't want to do each day that have to be done and do them first, because that gives you accomplishment and momentum. And it makes it easier to do the other shit because you've already fucking accomplished the thing you didn't want to do. And usually it's just dumb shit. It's not difficult usually. A lot of times the difficult things are the things we want to do. I did 1.5 inches once a day, but I'm 4 times the weight of a regular man. I did 1.5 inches once. Matt, I don't know what we're talking about there, man. I believe horse paste is 2.5 CCS per pound. Yeah, you can't find the horse paste almost anywhere to save your lives. I have a ton of it. A ton of it. I was buying it when they first started talking about it. You could buy it for literally $8 a tube at Walmart. We bought a lot of it. The stuff I'm talking about right now, you won't find that horse paste almost anywhere. You used to be able to walk into Walmart, Tractor Supply, any rural supply place, farm supply, they all had it. What you see now are like the big, huge bottles of penicillin. You see these big fucking liquid suspension bottles of ivermectin. And I saw it at Tractor Supply the other day. You just have to know how to dose it. Any suggestions on where to buy quail? that might be available. Empty, through the mail, buddy. Cody bought them. I want to say Cody bought them off fucking eBay. I'll bet you, I'd be surprised if they're not on Amazon. McMurray Hatchery, you can buy them all over the place. Ask Lance. Lance buys quail. Cody just bought quail a couple weeks ago. I think we have 25 here. Copernicus quail, the giant quail, which are still pretty small. Just realized I have boxes of ivermectin for my dog, heartworm dog treats. Yes, that's ivermectin. Dude McButter, what is up from Cali? Where in Cali are you? And I'm sorry you're in Cali. Justin Lynch, yeah, I'm digging the small fanny pack. Ivermectin is 6 micrograms per kilogram of dog. LW Jacks, thank you. John Witherspoon, trust but verify. I have no reason to doubt that, but people make mistakes, and realize that people on the internet, you don't know them. So drugs, legal advice, anything like that, trust but verify. Reading some of these. Hey, John, kind of new here. Okay, I think we've read all of these. I think that AFAB near Camden has quail. AFAB near Camden. What's AFAB, Nicole? I don't know what that is. Quail are at the end of the nearest mountain, but most locals know that. Apple flavored, only smelled like apple. It tastes like axle grease. Matt, so I took ivermectin. I didn't do anything with it. I put it on the spoon, the inch worth of the tube, or however much I was supposed to take. I took the spoon and put it upside down and smeared it on my tongue. I took some water out of a cup through a straw and swallowed it. I didn't ever taste it. I saw a lot of people saying how nasty and terrible it was. I didn't see what the big deal was. How is Scully? Tim, I don't know how Scully is, but I am sure, I mean, I talk to him every day, like on Messenger. I assure you Scully is doing well. Scully's probably doing exactly whatever Scully wants to do. He has them, a person. Roger that, Nicole. But that dude's not here. So I mean, maybe I don't know who that person is. Maybe he mails them out. But there are people that will just mail them to you. You can also buy eggs, fertilized eggs. They'll ship them overnight to you. You can buy eggs off of eBay for almost anything. And people don't realize that they don't start the hatching process until you put them under heat. So eggs, I think they can sit for like a few weeks, which might be pushing the envelope, but you can take eggs and put them all in the incubator a couple weeks later, and that's when the cycle starts hatching. Meyer Hatchery, that's another one. McMurray. The other thing I could really use is some Ogden Universal powder. Can't find any in Colorado, Nebraska area. Other powders are popping up, but not universal. Tyler, I don't know what that is. We mix a little molasses and warm water with it when we give it to the goats. Oh, the ivermectin stuff? Check these doors while we're out here. Crayons, what's up, buddy? All right, guys, we got 89 people on right now, 76 thumbs up. Let's get that number raised up. empty, do you already have your caging set up for your quail? There is some stuff out there now. It's plastic modular racking. Looks like rabbit cages, but smaller, but made of plastic. It literally looks like Fisher Price Play School stuff. Cody has some, and it's fucking awesome. It's like it works really, really well. Stores are supposed to have some powders. Would be nice to see online. So would primers. Oh, you're talking about reloading stuff. Got it. I have not, but want to order that and get some quail right on. What would you tell yourself? Don't get married? I don't think I would do that, man, because I wouldn't be where I am right now without having done everything I did. Like, you notice I didn't say I would tell myself don't do these things because you'll go to prison. I wouldn't do that. There are things I would tell myself, but that's not one of them. My go-to podcast, if I could only have one, probably survival podcast. Pierre, what's up? Got my Mandrake tool bag and adjustable holster. Here are the Mandrake tool bags. They are done. They'll be cleaned and turned tomorrow. I've got BBD bags. We've got a box of them somewhere. There's a bunch here on the table. Those are done. Tear off panels. BBD bags, visor covers. These are probably sold out or pretty damn close to sold out. Black day packs, there's a pile of them there. Those are probably sold out or pretty close to it. I've got some red convertibles, some black convertibles. These are here just because we literally worked all day long. We never moved any of the product up front. Best add-on for a day pack. If you've got to ask, man, I wouldn't add nothing to it. Do you have a day pack? Are you thinking, man, I wish I could put more shit on it? If so, you could get some side pouches. The mesh pockets are great inside because you can organize them. All the walls inside these bags are all Velcro. They're all loop. So you can put the small pockets or the large pockets on them. I don't really carry anything big enough that it won't fit in the small. So when I put them in the large, stuff just kind of gets moved or, lays down flat, falls over. I'd rather have two small pockets than a large pocket. But I mean, you might carry some shit that you want. I mean, if you're carrying a 1,000 milliliter IV bag, you're going to want 1,000. You're going to want the larger pocket. What do we make this the biggest pain in the ass? All the small stuff. Small stuff's harder to sew. Your rigs are awesome. Looking in your shop. I watch because you're a character with knowledge. Right on. Has anyone noticed the nuclear fallout videos are popping up? Tim, so here's the deal, right? It's because we're all watching the prepper guys, right? And I'm kind of making fun of those guys with the panic prepper videos. No one's specific. And people keep going, hey, you're talking about so-and-so, or are you making fun of this guy? Not necessarily. All of those guys have videos that are of value, but what's happening right now is it's all circular reporting, right? So you have a guy doing this video, and then this dude watches his video, and whether he intentionally does it, he probably doesn't even realize it. He then makes his version of the same video, and then it happens here, and it happens here, and it happens here. So they all do about the same video over and over. And I've said that for years. I'm like, I could just take and watch one of these guys' channels and literally just pick one every week that he's put up already and remake the video. I could even go as far as taking his script and just making my own video with my own videos footage of it. And what happens is when you start using clickbait, your algorithms spike and you don't realize it, but it's just like the like button on Instagram, right? It is addictive. It releases endorphins. So when you go from getting, let's say you're getting 1,000 views on a video today, but you use some thumbnail that's very eye-catching, or you use a clickbait title, right? Like, oh my God, this is the worst. This is the worst thing that's happened yet. Oh my God, we're in for it. Buy this thing now while you can still get it. Anything like that, which they're all doing. They have to continue to do it to maintain. They just have to. They have to. Whether they realize it or not, they have no choice. So when you go down that avenue, you always have to do something more grandiose the next time to capture, to stay at that level. So the panic prepper is you, weird. I don't watch any of the nuke videos at all. There's some good knowledge on them. I mean, if you want real knowledge on NBC stuff, Iridium Solutions. Follow Ed Hubble, Iridium Solutions, Mira Safety stuff, and check that out. If you want to even have the conversation, I look good right now. I think I look like shit right now. I'm kind of flat. You should have seen me yesterday, Pierre. If you want to have that conversation of NBC stuff, you should just go buy the shittiest, cheapest gas mask and put that motherfucker on for 30 minutes. Just do normal daily tasks. Go cook your breakfast wearing a gas mask. I mean, we don't even have to go outside. We don't have to do cardio. Just put the gas mask on. Or even a breathing plate, right, for high altitude training. Because most of you on here, there's 81 people. I would say that 50% of you couldn't make it 30 minutes. And what's gonna happen is, I can't remember the name. I bought some face plates with some paper filters in them for on the range, right? For filtering out lead, for lead poisoning and stuff. And if you put that on for about 15 minutes, what you'll notice is that your lungs will hurt. Like, your lungs will hurt, and you will even feel it the next day. As kids, we used to wear M17 gas masks all the time, and M40s and Mickey 2s and stuff all the time. We always wore gas masks around, just fucking around. I already know what I need to know if there's nuke fallout. Corporal Corner is good. I've not heard of him. I don't watch prepping videos though, but maybe I watch stuff that others that watch that do. A lot of them are fear porn, some excellent knowledge. I was thinking about mesh pouch or two for the inside, but wanted to make sure I didn't miss out on the bag. Watch Tad's review. So Tad's review on the bag, that's a mini pack, right? The bags we have right now are day packs. They're a much larger bag. We're going to do some mini packs here shortly. We're doing NSW modular NSWs right now. Ed will be the only one of us that could survive any type of radiation. You know, I think a lot of people don't realize that that's what Ed does for a living, right? Ed does nuclear shit for a living. And not like at a nuclear power plant. He does other nuclear shit for a living. Or I wore my Israeli gas mask as a joke during COVID. It was not fun, but made me realize how many people pay zero attention to their surroundings. Absolutely, man. Imagine I'll bet you startled the shit out of some people when they turned around. Sis made a bong out of an old gas mask. Yeah, I've seen that, pictures of it. Evening, John. Hope the whole SW crew, we're all good, yeah. What color the NSW rig's going to be? They're going to be arid. We need to plan to steal a private jet and go get Ed. So Ed will be here at our event. Ed's presenting at our event here, and he's bringing gas masks and stuff to demo. And then you can have the real conversation about what the internet tells you you need and what you actually might be of use to you. And do you really need NBC filters, or can you just need particulate filters maybe, like, because you're further away, right? You weren't within a few hundred miles of direct hit, so it's going to be ash and things. And maybe you would use those in everyday application of life. You might use those, during fucking fires or, riot materials and stuff like that. Liberate, not theft. If there's nuke strike where I live in Washington State, it's game over. And there probably would be, because don't you have, you've got boomers, right? You've got submarines and shit there. think I've read plastic suit and mirror mask. Yeah. And then, you know, if you're going to spend the money to buy a gas mask, let's be real, you should probably spend a little more money and get a positive pressure system. The pappers or the puffers, some of them are back mounted, some of them are front mounted, some take 1 can, some take 2 cans. And what it does is it's a battery system and it blows up, right? So if you don't have a perfect seal, it's constantly pissing air. And then also when you inhale, it makes the air pressure different, and it also keeps your faceplate. That's what this is called, right? So if you have, this is your faceplate, this, and then your papper system, and it blows air in and it keeps it from fogging also. And then voice emitters, you know, that's something else to look at, is voice emitters. You can put some needle in your eye. Can you put some needle into your eye? Can you put some needle into your eye? What a fucking retard. And I know you guys are going to say bots. Do you know bot? That's not just a computer there. Maybe that is. I don't know. Why don't they have the thing that says kill user, like incinerate user, pull toenails? Why don't they have that button? I've got report, remove, put user in timeout, hide user. Why don't they have one that says kill user? User's messages will be hidden. That's the beauty of this, right? We don't see her, but she still sees us. We paint cars with 3M paper. Yes, yes. Gut shot user. Yeah, I'd like that. Between Irwin and Palms, I'm sure I'm on or near direct hit. Is there a mod in here that can ban Captain Spamlot? Yeah, I did. Fire Department of New York going to rebreathers and getting rid of SCBA. So Draeger made like the LAR-5 rebreathers, you know, that the Navy used forever. Japan, when you start looking at rebreathers for the civilian market, everything gets smaller. And like Japan for 30 years probably, Japan has had mixed gas rebreathers that are, I mean, tiny, minuscule. I've seen some even that are a mask that has a mouthpiece on it, and it's all self-contained in there. Oh, look, she's back under another account. How did that work? Or did I ban the wrong person? This user will be hidden. Ashley Sarmiento is gone. Okay. I would bet it's not a bot. Probably someone mad at their order. Maybe. I did cancel a dude's order today. A dude with a 52-inch belt. And he's like, hey, I placed this order a couple weeks ago, and I haven't received any shipping. And I said, okay. I said, stop. I said, reply to your order confirmation. And he did. And I said, okay, here it says 8 to 12 weeks. Plus, Ashley are usually some of the most friendly chicks. And here she is again. So typically what this is, when you guys see this, it's a group. Like the couch auction. I'm here for the couch auction. It's a group of people. And they'll want to disrupt, or they'll want to cause problems, or it's just a group of people. They're like, let's find the next live, and we'll all bombard this guy. So that one's gone too. Message deleted. It says message deleted already. Spammer would put that effort into their business. Stop typing TAC 556. Okay, so I don't know what we were talking about, but she's gone for the moment. I'm sure she'll be back with another account. Oh, so the 52-inch belt guy. I'm like, hey, it says 8 to 12 weeks right here. I go, we're waiting for Cobra buckles. And he's like, well, it says 8 to 12 weeks for labor intensive. I go, oh, so you know. So you knew it was there. I go, here, let me cancel your order for you. I go, good luck finding a 52-inch belt somewhere else, and good luck finding a belt anywhere in this environment right now. And he's like, you piece of shit. Somebody needs to show you how to run a business, and like goes off and off. He sent me 3 or 4 emails, and he's like, He goes, "You're ordering this shit from China. That's why it's taken so long." He goes, "I bought one off Amazon for $15 and sent me a screenshot of it." Apparently there is something called a Cobra belt on Amazon for $15. It's all China shit. Like, our buckles come from Austria, which is, you might as well consider that as like Germany. It's never really fully reopened. They're still got a bunch of crazy fucking regulation shit going on. And then it comes and imports through Canada, which is also fucked up 10 ways from Sunday, right? So yeah, there's issues with supply. And then add in everything else going on with that. So just buy 2 regular belts and be done with it. "52-inch belt's fat." He's probably not in the best shape, but I mean, there's some fucking human beings that are just humongous, you know. I mean, who knows? I guess it depends body shape, where you carry fat and stuff. But I mean, typically a 52-inch belt dude is going to be, you know, not at the best shape. He probably has a lot of things in his life that he needs to worry about more than his belt. Any large tool bags? No, none at all. Just picked up a copy of IBM and the Holocaust. Do you have a recommended reading list? I don't. I have not read IBM and the Holocaust. I have it. For guys hearing this for the first time, IBM, the Nazis could not have done what they did in cataloging the Jews the way they did without IBM. And IBM was very complicit in what they did to the Jews, as was the president at the time, as was Ford Motor Corporation, General Motors. So IBM has never sued the author of IBM and the Holocaust. They've never disputed what he has said, and they've never spoken publicly about it. But every camp, all of the Nazi camps that had Jews, all had international business machines, and those were IBM, right? They had buildings on every camp that were about 10,000 square feet. That's the size of this building, and they all had an IBM machine in them, and that's how the punch cards. They're kind of like our modern day time clock cards, but they would punch them, and I think there was 4 categories in there. They cataloged them all, and IBM had a patent on the machine and had a trademark on the cards, the card stocks that they used. And over 250 times, IBM sent lawyers from the United States to Nazi Germany over copyright infringement from local businesses that were starting up, and the Nazis were using those cards. 250 times they went over there. Now, IBM and the Holocaust is not on audiobooks. I don't know why. But you can find that the author was on the Glenn Beck show for 90 minutes, and they go over a lot of this. It's well worth listening to if you've not heard it. IBM sued people for using the technology they used with the Nazis. Yes, they did. Absolutely. I'm 6'0" and 200 and have a 32-inch belt. Tyler, I got a 32-inch belt. Actually, I just put a 32-inch belt on because I didn't have a 30. It's a little big. I need to go back into a 30. I just didn't have one on the shelf. Coca-Cola created Fanta. Yes, they did. Absolutely. U.S. businesses are always playing both sides. They sell to the U.S. as well as the enemy. That's why we're having this war right now, because they're going to make more money. Ford himself paid to rent Madison Square Garden for Nazi Socialist Party. Yes, he did. And then we brought a bunch of them back here afterwards. Three dirty areas in the waistband. Maybe so, man. Worked with a guy who was 242 kilograms. Not sure what that is in pounds, but he's a freaking huge. I'll bet, man. There's a dude named Woody that maintains tractors for the rental company that we use. And he is a humongous human being, an enormous man. Like when he comes in, he has to duck under these when he comes in here. Operation Paperclip. Yeah, that's bringing them back. And the question is, did we get the better Nazis or did Russia get the better Nazis? Because they did the atomic thing while we did space, or vice versa. The government is the enemy of the people. What's the biggest threat that you face on a daily basis right now? Government is mine. I'm not worried about dudes coming here and causing problems. I'm not worried about people in town and having altercations while I'm out in public. I'm worried about the knock on the door or the flashbangs in the middle of the night on a daily basis. Like that is literally what, I mean, most people that I know, that is the concern. 533 pounds. Insane. Highly motivated driver, and they're always pulling me over for speeding. Government is the biggest danger to every human on the planet. Think about it. The Department of Making You Sad. They always want to tell you what you can't do. And when you do it and you're doing well at it, they want to come in because they're not getting their part of it. You can grow chickens all day long. You could come here and I could kill a bunch of these chickens and process it and give it to you for free, and you could take it home and eat it or do whatever you're going to do with it. They don't care until I sell it to you. Until you pay me for it, there is not any problem with it. But as soon as you give me money, they want to come in here and tax me. And if I don't pay their taxes and I don't file their applications and go through their inspections, they will send people here with guns under the wrong circumstances willing to kill you and your family. Just say no when they come enough times, and sooner or later, people with guns will show up here. I have a few NFA items. They can knock on my door at any time. Yes, they can. Did you read Enemies, Foreign and Domestic? That's what that book was about. Some rogue ATF guys working with other government agencies knew where machine gun owners were. They would go in the middle of the night, kill them, take the guns, and then use the guns in other crimes and leave the guns other places to be found. Have huge friends, 6'4", make me feel small, amazingly athletic, tendons, and fast twitch react. NFL linemen, right on. Useless people, useless jobs. Trample over. Yeah, it's people that didn't really, like most of those guys, they weren't the prong king, right? They weren't top on the athletes. Some of them maybe they were, right? But for the most part, it's people with a power complex, an authority complex. If the power went off tomorrow, would they be employed? Right? If the electricity went off, do they have a skill that people would pay them to come do? Do they have a product that they produce that they would be able to trade for other products they need? And if the answer is no, well, then you're probably a bureaucrat. You have people that provide service and provide goods that normal human beings are willing to pay them for. And then you have people that have a job solely because the government makes the citizenship use those services. Think like Department of Motor Vehicles. Do you need your car inspected? Do you need to stand in line for 6 hours to pay registration? Speeding tickets. Many police officers have told me that in a shift, they can write just as many tickets if they only stop people going 20, 25, 30 over as they would if they did 5 over. They can write just as many tickets because you're on the side of the road writing the ticket for that length of time. So whether you stop them at 5, there are plenty of people at 25. That's just taxing the working man. That's just harassing the working man is all that is. repoed a washer and dryer from a contestant from my 600-pound life. Wow. The FDA has their own law enforcement and SWAT teams. Yes, a lot of agencies do. A lot of stuff you would not think of does. Government has killed more people than everything else. I saw something today. Don Stinson, are you on here? He can't comment for some reason. For some reason, there's a lot of people that watch the video every night and cannot comment. Dawn, if you're on here, send the video to some. Well, they won't be able to post it anyways. There's something out, and then they're saying the government just killed more people in the last year with their experimental vaccination. Like, you haven't even heard about it yet. There's whisperings and grumblings over it. But, like, you have kids right now, you have 8-year-old kids being life-flighted out of elementary schools for heart attacks, for cardiac arrest. When's the last time you ever heard of a fucking child having a fucking heart attack? Because it's happening literally every day right now in the United States. Can you go to Manila and burn the street children? Yet another one gone. Took her a minute to get back this time. Yeah, revenue agents. When they were during Prohibition, the sheriff wouldn't go. Everybody knew where the stills were during Prohibition in Appalachia and stuff because you could see them from town. You could see the fires from town if they made them on the wrong side of the mountain or the side that they had access to, right? But the sheriff didn't go and enforce that very often because everybody knew where the sheriff lived. By the time he got down the mountain, his house was already on fire. They burnt a bunch of those dudes' houses down. The revenuers. The revenuer would come in 1-2 guys, right? They never came back. They would disappear, those guys. When the power goes out and the dude from the bank a couple weeks later, a month later, shows up wanting his payment, he's only going to go to 1 or 2 doors before he doesn't exist anymore. EMT said they were responding to heart problems hundreds of times a day. Yeah, I watched the video today. It looks like he was testifying in front of Congress, and he said some fucking crazy shit, the numbers he was giving out. How about life insurance payout right now for people under 64? Just jumped 40%. It's a flat graph. If you look at the graph, it's been flat for fucking decades. It just jumped 40% in like a 90-day period. What do I think the next 5 to 10 years in America will look like? I think it'll look like the Great Depression. I did a live feed today on Facebook. You should go listen to that. Mostly it's just me standing cleaning product. But I did talk to the camera for about 10, 15 minutes. You should listen to that. Starting my journey with food water preparations. Bought a 9-tray dehydrator, and I'm picking up a large water tank this weekend. Dallas, that's awesome, buddy. What size water tank are you getting? Not that there's a right or a wrong, but what are you getting? Insurance payouts for the 200-mile tornado changed some crap. Yes, they did. Banker ain't going to any doors because their checks stopped coming. Probably, yeah, good point. So when are you running for president? So I'm a felon, Charlie. I've been to prison. I don't think I can run. That's my excuse for not doing it. I'm a felon, so I can't run for any kind of office because I don't want to do it. When least expected, you're elected. Those are the people that probably should be politicians, right? They probably should be the people who don't want to be. Local Tractor Supply has the stackable water tanks. They're $270. So IBC tote, Dallas, IBC tote. And if that's what you're getting, you're paying a lot of money from Tractor Supply. I'm not saying don't buy it. I'm saying in addition to that, get some others. Look for food grade. You can tell when there's been molasses or corn syrup or something in them. They'll have a sweet smell to them. You can rinse them out and just have extras in that manner. You can run them in chain. You can run your downspout into them, and then, you know, once it fills that up, has one comes out the side. Congress should be like jury duty. If you had term limits, you wouldn't have any of the problems we have. You have people in power who are there who have never had a real job. You have people who've never worked a real job. Like I heard on Tim Pool tonight, whoever was on there was talking about, you know, Hollywood people, Hollywood elites, Hollywood, they hate us. They hate us. And Ian's like, well, you know, they don't even know us. He goes, no, you don't understand. These people in Hollywood grew up in wealth. They inherited wealth, and they have their position because of their name, right? They inherited the position. They were given the position because of who their family members were. They have no concept of what getting up in the morning and going to work looks like. They have never had to. They have no concept of paying bills. They have handlers, and they have everything automated, and they have money managers. They do not pay any bills. They have no fucking concept. And if it meant them continuing their way of life, if they had to push a button that said continue my way of life, and when they pushed the button, it killed hundreds of little children, they would push the button. They wouldn't even think twice about it. They have no concept of normal life. And your politicians have no concept of normal life. And they have term limits. And rogue other agents, other actors, whoever, get dirt on them. They go to parties. Most of your politicians, they were not the popular kids in school. They weren't busy starting a business. They never had any wins in their life. So they get into this thing, and all of a sudden they become congressmen or junior congressmen or senators, whatever, and there's fucking parties and there's cocaine and there's women everywhere. They get a little drunk, they get a little loose, maybe they get roofied. They wake up with several younger girls in bed, and there's a video camera. They worry about it for a year or two and think, oh, I'm going to prison. And then one day somebody wants something done, and when they say no, they are reminded of the video. They are all bought, whether it's intentional or not. Somebody owns every one of them. And if you simply had term limits, that couldn't happen. That would be alleviated immediately. Personally, I think we lost the country when we stopped hanging politicians. I agree with you. If you took people that did terrible shit and made them pay the price for it, even if it wasn't killing them, take politicians, put them in court square, put them in locks and stocks, and everybody that wanders by can throw rotten tomatoes at them, and they have to stay there every day for a fucking week. That in itself would fucking change things. Stop prosecuting homeowners for defending their home. You come on property, homeowner gets to do anything you want. You know where the property is. Better yet, if you come in the house, you come through the doorway, property owner fucking kills you, there's no repercussion. I own and rent several condos and apartment buildings. I'm selling them all. Too many don't pay the rent. So you know the way around that, Thomas? Airbnb. As a renter, it takes almost 6 months to evict somebody, right? As a landlord, 6 months, depending where you're at, 90 days, 6 months. When you have Airbnb, you call the sheriff, you call the police department, they fucking remove that motherfucker immediately. Like they just slapped Clinton with an $8,000 fine. If I become president, you'll be in prison. You did become president. How come she wasn't in prison? They have her saying, if he gets elected, we'll all hang. Hillary Clinton, what were you going to hang for? Which part of your treasonous adventure were they going to hang you for? Which one were you worried about the most? Because they were afraid they would be on the bad end. Yeah, probably so. What do you do when you do the right thing and suffer because of it losing work? John, I don't know what you're... Ask me with more words, man. What are we specifically talking about? They are all friends. And the ones that aren't have something on the other ones. Anderson Cooper is heir. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Love the statue. Oh, this one? You guys remember Cappy? Do you remember Cappy? Said if I commit suicide, I didn't commit suicide. They got me. A lot of dudes say that. A lot of dudes say that. Worried about the kids in her basement. So the adrenochrome thing keeps popping up, right? Russell Brand talks about it. A bunch of the Hollywood elites joke about it. Chris Rock, I think, joked about it. The adrenochrome thing keeps popping up. There's a patent for it. Pfizer has it. Something popped up a week or so ago about how the elites were harvesting blood from low-income people. And I mean, that can be spun to make it sound however they want to sound it. But there's some truth in that. Like when you look at the adrenochrome thing. Hillary Clinton joked about it, so you know it's definitely fucking real. Ron DeSantis interview today on the bill he created. I did not, man. Getting warm enough for Mama Duck to hatch out. Brian, I don't, are you asking me? She's got 6 more eggs in the nest. She's laid fucking dozens of them, man. Dozens of them. Blood is real, yeah. Ron DeSantis, even if Ron DeSantis got in, he'd be corrupt. It's not how you think. They're still hanging out together. All the ones that hate each other, they're still fucking in the same clubs. They're fucking the same little kids. They're doing the same heinous shit. Until somebody feels like they've lost everything and is willing to make some of them lose everything, nothing will change. And they fucking pass more and more laws and bills that make it more difficult for you, but they don't have to follow any of the laws that they pass. They are above the law. It does not affect them. So if those people are not part of your community, they don't give a shit about you. It's all for show. They need you on one of the teams. They don't care which team you're rooting for. Disney screwed. You see the fucking president of Disney? Did you see that bitch talking? I have 2 gay kids. One's pansexual, one's transsexual. We got to make some movies where the heroes are just, transsexual. Like fucking insane. Fucking sane. How did they let that bitch get in charge of Disney? Is there anyone I think isn't bought? I think Thomas Massey is legit. Who's the kid in the wheelchair? I liked what that dude had to say. But it don't matter. He ain't in your district. You can't fucking vote for him. Wheelchair guys in history show mass military. I agree with you, buddy. DeSantis caught Potomac fever virtually overnight when he went to Washington for the first time. He should stay in Florida. I work for Disney. I'm leaving ASAP. Fucking crazy, man. Rand Paul? Yeah, I like Rand Paul. But he ain't in your district. You can't vote for him. Like, what's your choices, man? What's your choices? I think a lot of sheriffs are pretty straight up. So I think so too, Tyler. I think so. Crenshaw? Is that the dude with the eye patch? No, that motherfucker was bought off. He didn't do none of the shit he said he was going to do. It's all for fucking show. He's hanging out with every one of them little fucking monsters. Massey is in my district, just for the comment, I'm ordering more SOE. So I've met Massey a couple times. I think he's a great dude. All the shit we talk about every night, he lives it. Like his kids, his family, they live off grid. They produce chickens, they produce eggs. He's got solar. He's an awesome designer and engineer. He creates and makes all kinds of things. That dude is a fucking good dude. Like, for real. Yeah, Crenshaw's on the World Economic Forum. Whatever you think you see in public with a politician, it's only to sell you. It's only to sell you. Yeah, Massey's MIT engineer. Yes, he is. The winner's always going to be Nancy Pelosi. That's true, man. How is that bitch still alive? How is that bitch still alive? All these people that die and all the crazy shit going on. If I woke up in the morning and saw all over social media that Nancy Pelosi was dead, I would smile. I would be happy by it. I wouldn't think anything more about it 5 minutes later, but I would love to wake up and see, and I'd love to wake up and see that a train hit her. Dianne Feinstein. I've met Massey several times, so I'll do yes. All government is fake. Yes, it's the World Wrestling Federation, guys. It's the WWE. That literally is what's going on. When she was 18, do I have this right? When she was 18, she was fucking John F. Kennedy. She was his aide. That's where she came from. She's never held a real job in her life. Yeah, that's a good point. If voting worked, you wouldn't be allowed to do it. Am I the only one waiting to see padded H sets? You're never going to get a padded H set until you order it and pay for it and wait for it. Even having padded H sets sitting here, if you order it tomorrow, it's not going to ship to you. You're going to order it, we're going to build it, and we're going to send it to you. You're never going to get one. I have literally said that 1,000 times. You just haven't heard it, apparently. Yeah, Nancy's husband's train. Yeah, they built, you remember when they annexed all those people's properties and they cut down all those almond orchards and did all that shit over that high-speed railway? Do you know a train has never run down those tracks? They don't even connect. They have 100 miles here and 100 miles there. They don't even fucking tie in. They're not even connected. A wrestler elected in Tennessee? I have no idea, man. I'm in Tennessee and I don't know. Interested on Pelosi. I'd be interested to hear Pelosi's thoughts on insider trading. Well, she put him out public. They passed a law that they can't be fucking held accountable for insider trading because it wouldn't be fair because they have inside information, so they wouldn't be able to participate in the stock market. That's what she said. She said it on camera just a few weeks ago. What rigs do we have ready? Nothing, man. Nothing. These are left hand. These are left hand. This is right hand. I got right hand cop rigs, but I doubt I have them. Like, you'd have to get online. The only way I could tell you what I have is if I got online and looked the same way you're going to. You can see these here, but I don't know that somebody hasn't bought them already today. But I'd go look, man. I'd look at cop rigs, AKM4 micros, and subgun micros. We're about to have NSW. We're about to have modular NSW rigs. But if you're not watching for them during the day, you won't ever get one. Burning people with direct energy weapons, it certainly looks that way. If you don't know what he's talking about and you've never seen that, you should check that out. Look at some of the California fires, how the houses are literally burnt to the ground, to the slabs, but the trees right next to the houses aren't even burnt. You have whole cul-de-sacs, you have whole entire neighborhoods. Every house in the neighborhood is burnt down, but none of the trees in the neighborhood are burnt down. You guys should look that up. There's a lot of them like that. Yeah, and it's not just Congress, it's all their staff. Absolutely. OD rifle rigs coming? Any OD rifle rigs coming? What are we talking about? Use more words. Be more specific. What are we talking about? OD rifle rigs. Are you talking about slings? Are you talking about chest rigs? Which chest rig in particular? Be more specific so that I can give you a better answer. Bought millions in Facebook, and yes, she did. Yes, she did. Stacked micro rigs. We just made micro rigs. We just made stacked micro rigs last week. We had woodland. All I have left are left-handers. I have left-handers. Now this rig is only 10 inches wide. And for the first 5 years we made any of these rigs, we only made right-handers. So everybody that was left-hand used a right hand. So while you're stuck on this is a left-handed chest rig, can you not move your hand 6 inches? No, we're never making Mookie War rigs again. We're not making Mookie light chest rigs. We're not ever making them again. And if you're asking about Mookie War rig, like the real Mookie War rig, it was 36 inches across. It was asinine. It did what needed to be done, but we had to reiterate it several times. The NSW chest rig is a much better chest rig. Started wearing my fupa as a chest rig filled with toys, realized I need a little more because my shoulders ached at the end of the day. Gotcha. I'm Tex with short arms. Stop showing purple gear. I don't even see purple gear. There's some toiletry bags, some string backpacks up there. We don't make a lot in purple. There's some purple pocket organizers. Mookie hasn't worked for Spikes for years and years, man. I'm not sure what Ben's doing. He's in Florida. If you feel like you know Ben enough to ask about his personal life, which you are with the Spikes thing, then reach out to Ben. Reach out. He's on social media. I'm sure you can find him. Reach out, and if he wants to have a conversation with you, he will. Other than that, that's Ben's life, and I'm not, if you think you know Ben enough to inquire about Ben's life, then reach out to Ben and see if he wants to have the conversation with you. What's the advantage to the H harness? Example, my chest rig, I'm always wearing hoodie or something. The advantage is it's a little easier to put on. You don't get the straps twisted, and it's a little more comfortable. We've never seen a dude put an H set on and be like, oh, I don't need this thing. It takes longer to get. If you ever see a chest rig for sale and you want it right away, don't order it with an H set. Your order might sit here for a fucking month, 2 months, 3 months. If you're buying a rig because you see it available right away, buy the rig. Place a separate order for the H set. Have I heard from James? No, I haven't heard from. I won't hear from James, guys. James is putting a ton of content up. Pay for his thing and go to where you can get his content. You have to pay to get it. He puts a lot of shit up. If you're a Tactical Response alumni, he's posting every day in the alumni group. So if you haven't done business with James, you just don't have access to anything he's posting. But he's posting a ton of shit, a lot of it. All right, guys, I'm off of here. Everybody have a good night.